Hello, and welcome to the annual Riverside County Probation Department Employee Recognition and Awards Ceremony. My name is Michael Brinkman, and I am the Assistant Director of Indio Juvenile Hall. On behalf of our Chief Probation Officer, Ronald Miller, the Executive Team, and the Awards Committee, I would like to welcome and thank you for joining us on this special day. 2020 was a year like no other. COVID-19 caused all of us to make significant changes and sacrifices in our lives. Despite the adversity we have faced, the members of the Riverside County Probation Department continue to report to work every day to carry out the department's mission of serving the courts, protecting the community, and changing lives. On this day of recognition, I would like to thank every member of the Riverside County Probation team, including their families, and acknowledge the dedication and commitment you bring every day. Your efforts have not gone unnoticed. This year's ceremony is dedicated to the memory of Deputy Probation Officer Julio Beltran, who lost his life in the line of duty due to COVID-19. Please join me in a moment of silence in his honor. Thank you. And stay tuned at the end of the ceremony for a video tribute to our fallen brother. I would like to recognize our department's executive team members for their unwavering support of RCP staff and for celebrating their accomplishments each year with this award ceremony. Chief Probation Officer Ronald Miller. Assistant Chief Probation Officer Christopher Wright. Institutional Services Chief Deputy Probation Officer Jason Bailey. Field Services Chief Deputy Probation Officer Natalie Rivera. Field Services Chief Deputy Probation Officer Joe Doty. And Administrative and Business Services Chief Deputy Probation Administrator Doug Moreno. We would also like to thank the Riverside Sheriff's Association and Service Employee International Union Local 721 for their generous donations. Their support made it possible to provide the beautiful awards and certificates to our 2020 honorees. We appreciate their contributions for this event and for everything they do for Riverside County employees throughout the year. At this time, we honor our nation with the singing of the national anthem by Miss Madison Claiborne.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Madison. Great job. Now, please welcome Chief Ronald Miller.
It is an honor to welcome you to the Riverside County Probation Department's annual Employee Recognition and Award Ceremony. Today, we will be recognizing a number of you for years of service, for promotions, and for special awards. Congratulations to each and every one of you, and thank you for all the great work that you do in fulfilling our mission, serving courts, protecting our community, and changing lives. I want to thank our Public Relations Unit and the ERAC Committee for their efforts to organize this event. We are beginning to emerge from a very challenging 2020. Everyone present, in one way or another, was impacted by the pandemic. Tragically, we mourned the loss of Deputy Probation Officer Julio Beltran. Some lost family members, while others have seen tremendous disruption by this disease. I am hopeful that the year ahead will provide comfort to those who experience loss. As I thought about this ceremony, I reflected on the nearly 1,000 staff who make up this great department. Collectively, we work about 2 million hours each year. That's a lot of hours. Over the course of this last year, we added new ways of doing business, new ways of reaching out, including food drives, virtual celebrations for success, holiday meals, clothing donations, and many more activities to help our clients and their families. To say that you made a difference is an understatement. I know that every recipient of your goodwill was touched by what you did. As we move into 2021, there are some interesting opportunities. Our juvenile client numbers are down below 1,000 for the first time in decades. As a direct result of AB 1950, our adult client numbers will be down to or below 8,000. That's less than half of our numbers a decade ago. I believe there is a space here to help build resiliency with those we supervise, and it raises the question, how do we align those 2 million hours to help members of our community to be properly situated with healing and with skills to move forward in their own lives? That's a question we'll be working to answer over the months ahead. I am grateful to each of you as you are members of this department, and I'm grateful to each of you for the positive impact that you are making. Congratulations to our recognition and award recipients. I would now like to introduce our next speaker, our county's new CEO, Jeff Van Wagenen.
Good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me to the annual employee recognition ceremony. I have been lucky enough to attend this event many times in the past, but this one is different, obviously. Today, as we recognize the extraordinarily good work performed by so many of your colleagues, I think it is important to pause and take a moment and acknowledge all of you for your efforts. This last year was hard. I don't have to tell you that. You lived it. You lived it in the field, you lived it in the institutions, and you lived it in your offices. And you felt it when one of your own passed away. I did not have the honor of knowing Julio, but I know many who did. I appreciate how much he is missed and how deeply his loss is felt. My thoughts continue to be with you and with his family. Despite the challenges of 2020, each of you persevered. Each of you found the grit necessary to continue. Each of you remained focused on your shared mission, serving our courts, protecting our community, and changing lives. I know that it hasn't been easy, but I want you to know that it has been appreciated. The courts, the Board of Supervisors, and our constituents all thank you. But we're not done yet. The fact that we are all participating remotely today tells us that we're not done yet. But as the case numbers fall and the vaccination numbers rise, I am cautiously optimistic. And it's from that place of optimism that I want to talk with you for a few minutes today. I have a confession. I'm a big fan of the probation department. I know I'm not supposed to play favorites in my new role with the county, but I really like the probation department. I imagine that most of you agree with me. But I also imagine some of you might wonder why someone who's never worked in the department can feel so strongly about the department. I have lots of reasons, but I want to share 3 of them with you now. Reason number 1, your role in the criminal justice system. I've been working closely with the probation department for the last 25 years. I have spent most of my adult life working in the criminal justice system, both as a prosecutor and a defense attorney. I have personally benefited from working closely with you, and I have watched the system benefit from your service. First, I want to talk about how I personally benefited. When I was a baby DA in the late 1990s, it was the deputy probation officers who taught me how to work a calendar courtroom. When I was a criminal defense attorney in the 2000s, it was the deputy probation officers who taught me how to build a sentencing argument. And when I was an assistant DA in the 2010s, it was your executive leadership team who taught me how to collaborate for a greater good. Some of you will remember teaching me along the way and can back me up on this. I am better at my current job and all of my previous jobs because of your mentorship. Second, I want to talk about how the system benefited. It is not easy time to be in law enforcement. It was never easy. It hasn't gotten any easier since AB 109 in 2011 or any of the other laws since then. And it isn't going to get any easier anytime soon. But to be fair, it shouldn't be easy. We deal with public safety. We deal with justice. We deal with freedom and liberty. These are tough topics. But there is nobody, and I mean nobody, that I would rather have at the intersection of these issues than the Riverside County Probation Department. You are the connective tissue holding the system together. You are the balance that is required now and into the future. You are able to remain committed to your core values as we look to solutions moving forward. The second reason I'm a fan of probation is your work with lean. I have another confession to make. I'm a geek or a nerd. I'm not sure which one is the cool one these days, but whichever one is the cool one, I'm the other one. I love using data to better understand what we do, how we do it, and how we can improve. Some folks have called me Moneyball after the book and the movie. I'm pretty sure they were referring to the stats dude played by Jonah Hill and not the Brad Pitt character, but who can be sure? Either way, I took it as a compliment. What does it have to do with you? Your work with lean has been truly impressive. The process you went through, as uncomfortable as it can be at times, is inspirational. I have watched the evolution from the very early days to the latest iteration. And while I can't say that I always understood what was happening in the moment, it is hard to argue with the results. By working to eliminate unnecessary work, by measuring what matters, by continuously improving, you have found ways to better tell the story of the probation department, to better identify challenges and solve them quickly, and to better serve the courts, protect the community, and change lives. I will be bringing the lean process to the executive office. If we can be as successful or a fraction as successful as you were, there will be significant benefit to countywide operations. Reason number 3, lessons learned. One last confession. I watched a lot of TV. I watch a lot of movies. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I read a lot of books. In addition to the entertainment value, I'm always looking for a nugget of information that I can use. As a result, I'm always quoting one or the other. As I work to build a network of teams in my new role, there are a few books that I've been quoting a lot. 2 of them are Team of Teams and One Mission, both written by military leaders trying to apply lessons learned in Iraq and Afghanistan to other fields. One Mission, specifically, is basically a handbook for any leader looking to evolve their team into a highly mobile and effective unit, and inspire their teams to look beyond their day job to understand and contribute to the organization's one true mission. But to folks who don't have a background in the military, or who don't know a lot of soldiers or sailors or Marine or airmen, or who haven't worked closely with law enforcement agencies, it can be hard at times to understand how something learned in war can be used in our environment. Your department, whether you know it or not, made the lessons of One Mission your standard operating procedure. When I talk about the ideas from that book, it's no longer hypothetical. I can point people to the probation department to see how it works in real time. What are those lessons? Number 1, achieving strategic alignment, communicating organizational priorities down the chain of command. Lesson number 2, determining operating rhythm, organizing regular company catch-up and feedback sessions. Lesson number 3, setting up communication and decision-making processes, developing a hybrid decision-making structure to empower and inspire every person on the team. And lesson number 4, shifting leadership behavior, ensuring successful transition with radical humility, starting with the leader and continuing down the chain of command. In closing, I want to thank Chief Miller, Assistant Chief Wright, and the whole executive team for inviting me to participate in this event. Congratulations to all of the employees recognized today, and thanks to all of you for your ongoing efforts. I am proud of the work you do. I am proud of the reputation your work has earned you. I am proud of the impact your work has on our community. Please know you are appreciated.
Thank you, County Executive Officer Jeff Van Wagenen. We would like to start today's ceremony with recognizing 55 of our employees for their years of service to Riverside County. Combined, they have over 1,000 years of service.
The first group of employees we'd like to showcase today have dedicated 15 years of service to Riverside County. Information Technology Officer, Joseph Atala. Probation Corrections Officer, Janet Boyland. Deputy Probation Officer, Randy Bush. Senior Probation Officer, Michelle Ewing. Correctional Food Service Supervisor, Glenn Franco. Executive Secretary, Brian Hansen. Senior Probation Officer, Veronica Jackson. Assistant Director, Perea Jaime. Probation Corrections Officer, Brayer Jingles. Supervising Probation Officer, Courtney Johnson. Senior Probation Corrections Officer, Tyrone Jones. Deputy Probation Officer, Thomas Kirk. Senior Probation Officer, Piper Lee Schultz. Deputy Probation Officer, Milka Mesa. Senior Probation Officer, Magda Mitchell. Supervising Probation Officer, Herbert Murray. Food Service Manager, Johnny Ortega. Probation Corrections Officer, Jennifer Peraza. Office Assistant, Latanya Reed. Chief Deputy Probation Officer, Natalie Rivera. Correctional Cook, Victoriano Rubio. Probation Specialist, Elisa Sanchez. Probation Corrections Officer, Jacob Tanner. Supervising Probation Officer, Wesley Brumbaugh. Probation Specialist, Angeline Cabrera. Senior Probation Officer, Denise Costala-Strosky. Probation Correction Officer, Abraham Hernandez. Senior Probation Officer, Steve Kikuchi. Senior Probation Officer, Araceli Marks. The next assembly of employees have dedicated 20 years of service to our county. Secretary, Sharon Kalnick. Supervising Office Assistant, Marianne Chavarria. Office Assistant, Leanne Clark. Division Director, Shelley Davis. Assistant Director, Rachel Leitenberg. Probation Corrections Officer, David Medrano. Accounting Technician, Julie Meeks. Division Director, Elisa Porras. Supervising Probation Officer, Robert Rivera. Probation Corrections Officer, Nathan Sanchez. Division Director, David Searing. Public Information Specialist, Kevin Slusarski. Probation Correction Officer, Lavaro Taylor. Probation Correction Officer, Julius Williams. Supervising Probation Officer, Michael Wilson. Deputy Probation Officer, Rusty Bond. Probation Corrections Officer, Thomas Hall. Probation Corrections Officer, Lloyd Hoy. Senior Probation Officer, Martine Hasso. Probation Specialist, Kalima Tribble. Senior Probation Corrections Officer, David Vargas. We have one employee who has dedicated 25 years of service to our county. Supervising Probation Officer, Isabel Castellan.
Now, please join me in congratulating two staff members who achieved 30 years of service to our county. Assistant Chief Bryce Holstrom. Building Maintenance Mechanic Irvi Garcia. This year, we honor a very special employee who celebrated 40 years of service with the County of Riverside in 2020. Her entire 40-year career has been spent right here with the Riverside County Probation Department. She joined the department as a typist clerk in 1980 and currently serves as an Office Assistant 3. Please join me in a well-deserved congratulations to Sandy Jones. Thank you again to all of these groups for their dedication and commitment to the County of Riverside. Next, we will be recognizing all staff promoted in 2020. Promoted to Supervising Office Assistant 1, Mona Padilla. Promoted to Probation Assistant, Gabriela M. Hernandez. Promoted to Probation Specialist, Sabrina Maynard and Kindris Vasquez. Promoted to Senior Media Production Specialist, Javier Santos. Promoted to Secretary 2, Trina Head. Promoted to Business Process Analyst 3, Jane Venus. Promoted to Principal Accountant, Carol Weatherspoon. Promoted to Administrative Services Manager 3, Jessica Holstein. Promoted to Deputy Probation Officer, Paul Karunigan. Rudy Gonzalez. Anna Herrera. Sarah Giron. Michelle Perez. Brianda Rubio. Promoted to Senior Probation Officer, Courtney Gervasi. And Christina Jennings. Promoted to Supervising Probation Officer, Linda Drake. Tabitha Jeffries. Jamie McLean. Roy Ramirez. And Guillermo Urquiza. Promoted to Assistant Probation Division Director, Michael Belknap. And Mike Viaba. Promoted to Probation Division Director, Daniel Castaneda. Promoted to Chief Deputy Probation Officer, Natalie Rivera. Promoted to Assistant Chief Probation Officer, Bryce Holstrom. And appointed to Chief Probation Officer, Ronald Miller. Promoted to Office Assistant 3, Michelle Bookout. Promoted to Correctional Cook, Dion Herrera. Promoted to Research Specialist, Sonia Vega. Promoted to Senior Accountant, Romana Silhanova. Every year, Staff from each division nominate individuals they feel deserving of the title Division Employee of the Year. All of these staff, in their own way, has supported our department's mission of serving courts, protecting our community, and changing lives, while upholding the values of our department's excellence, integrity, and dedication. After watching a short video on each of these award recipients, you'll see our Division Employees of the Year represent various positions within our department and understand why each was selected for this very special honor. Our first recipient in the Administrative and Business Services Division for 2020, Employee of the Year, is Revenue and Recovery Tech 2, Susan Cordova.
Susan has contributed in many areas that have enabled the division to go green and utilize an electronic case management system. For example, Susan helped create a spreadsheet that enabled the supervisors to review and track court reports electronically, eliminating the need for shuffling reports from desk to desk. And she also created a spreadsheet to track crime reports. Ms. Cordova worked with BIOS in making format and content revisions to English-Spanish translation letters sent to crime victims and defendants. Susan is also our internal IT tech, always willing to help us resolve our technical issues, which include printing errors, locked documents, and creating formulas in Excel to improve tracking of metrics. In the past year, we've experienced several changes, and Ms. Cordova has been a huge help with the technological transitions we've had to face, especially concerning telecommuting. She takes great pride in her work and upholds the department's core values.
Susan, congratulations for being Victim Restitution Resources Division Employee of the Year. Good job.
Alan M. Krogan, Youth Treatment and Education Center Division Employee of the Year, is Senior Probation Officer Leticia Nelson.
Leticia has been employed by the Riverside County Probation Department for 19 years and has worked in both detention and treatment facilities. She is a loyal and dedicated employee who demonstrates an excellent work ethic, flexibility, high integrity, and positive attitude. Leticia is particularly adept at working collaboratively with collateral agency partners to ensure youth receive all required services and programs. She utilizes her experience, training, and knowledge to recognize and analyze potential areas of concern. She then provides positive, appropriate, and workable solutions to remedy the issue. Leticia is a self-starter and takes the time to train staff. She is a defensive tactic instructor, CPR facilitator, and the department safety representative for AMC YTech.
Leticia, I just wanted to say thank you for all of your hard work and dedication to the youth of Riverside County. Congratulations on being selected as the AMC YTech Employee of the Year.
Central Services Division Employee of the Year is Deputy Probation Officer Daniel Valdez.
Daniel Valdez is a team player, enjoyable to work with, and with his easygoing attitude, he is a source of camaraderie for the unit and the division. He has proven to be willing to take on new challenges to enhance his growth opportunities and maintains a positive demeanor and willingness to learn. Officers from other units often come to him for assistance with searches, drug testing, etc., and he will always stop and help. Anytime he is asked to help with handling situations on his peers' cases if they're out of the office, he will always respond, "You got it, boss." Danny's can-do attitude came out when he volunteered to go to Michigan to assist with transporting placement juveniles back to California despite the risk of COVID exposure. Danny's due diligence shows his service to the courts and protecting our community.
You helped move this department forward, and especially Central Division, and congratulations on a well-deserved honor.
The Desert Services Division 2020 Division Employee of the Year is Deputy Probation Officer Jay Roberts.
Hardworking, patient, and collaborative are all words used to frequently describe Deputy Probation Officer Jay Roberts. Jay supervises approximately 50 realignment clients residing on the east end of Coachella Valley. She has a unique ability to build relationships with clients, which increases her likelihood of maintaining compliance with probation. Many of her clients report they see probation as a resource for their rehabilitation instead of a roadblock. Jay understands her clients have individual needs and utilizes a solid network of local resources she has built over the last 4 years to connect the right client with the right agency or organization to fill those needs. Jay's tireless commitment to her clients and the community has produced some of the best compliance outcome within the Desert Service Division and undoubtedly made our community safer. Jay's actions demonstrate the department's goal and has made her a model success leadership amongst her peers.
Indio Juvenile Hall selected Senior Probation Corrections Officer Victor Regalado as their 2020 Division Employee of the Year.
Mr. Regalado has been a senior and a leader for quite some time at Indio Juvenile Hall. He goes above and beyond his duty to learn new information and teach his peers. His involvement with Lean has made him a much more important asset to the institution. Mr. Regalado has definitely changed lives in the time he has served his community. In addition, he covered for duty until a supervisor was transferred to Indio Juvenile Hall.
Congratulations, Victor, for your 23 years of service. Back in 1998, when you started and you walked through the doors for the first time, you haven't lost the passion, your infectious way of making people enjoy being at work, and we just thank you for all your hard work and congratulations on this huge accomplishment of being IGH's Division Employee of the Year.
The 2020 Metro East Division Employee of the Year is Deputy Probation Officer Jonathan Hallas.
Jonathan has a reputation for having a solid work ethic and adapts to new and changing environments. He balances a multitude of tasks to include effective case planning and case management and assisting anyone in the office. He is always the first one to raise his hand to assist with Officer of the Day duties, DRC coverage, screener duties, arrests, transports, or backup court officer. He often assists his peers with their office contacts, drug testing, or field home visits. He is often the only one who volunteers to take on additional duties despite his workload. In March, when the department was faced with COVID-19 and telecommuting was offered, Jonathan was one of the few members who opted to report to work on a daily basis and assisted with any task that was needed to be accomplished. His only focus is to ensure daily division operations are being completed with enthusiasm and professionalism.
On behalf of the Metro East Division, we would like to congratulate Jonathan Hallas, our Division Employee of the Year.
Metro West Division selected Deputy Probation Officer Deborah Ravel as their 2020 Employee of the Year.
Debbie conducts initial and annual audit investigations of placement facility operations to ensure compliance with community care licensing regulations. Debbie also hosts monthly Southern California Placement Committee meetings, wherein placement concerns and ongoing CCL investigations are discussed. Recently, an agency partner sent an acknowledgement email describing Debbie as having impressive dedication and support for probation work. In the past year, Debbie has been instrumental in ensuring the health and safety of Riverside County Probation's placement youth amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Debbie's knowledge, experience, and collaborative relationships with CCL analysts and partnering probation agencies was vital during the completion of the investigation.
Congratulations to Debbie for being our Division Employee of the Year.
The 2020 Mid-County Division Employee of the Year is Deputy Probation Officer Elizabeth Santiago.
Elizabeth Santiago was transferred to Mid-County Division with little to no adult supervision experience. She hit the ground running and absorbed information at an impressive rate. She took over a domestic violence caseload, held her probationers accountable, while at the same time assisting with referrals, services, and guidance through motivational interviewing. She is proactive and eager to learn her new assignment. She sought out training opportunities for domestic violence-related cases and made it a point to learn her assignment so she could provide clients with the best customer service. After the pandemic hit, Santiago brought in her own sewing machine and supplies and began making protective masks for the staff. During this unprecedented time when morale could have easily been low, Santiago has taken it upon herself to make being in San Jacinto office fun.
Southwest Juvenile Hall selected correctional cook Clinton Taylor as their Division Employee of the Year. Clinton
Taylor is a dedicated correctional cook who sincerely enjoys his job. He's committed to providing quality, healthy, and delicious meals to the youth and staff of Southwest Juvenile Hall. He has worked at various juvenile detention facilities, and he continues to display a strong work ethic, a passion for cooking, and he does it all with a smile on his face and a positive attitude. Over the last year, Mr. Taylor has become a critical part of the incentive program at Southwest Juvenile Hall, a program designed to improve the behavior of youth through weekly recognition events where youth earning top points are able to enjoy a fun evening of games, music, and fun. We thank Mr. Taylor for his outstanding contribution to the welfare of the youth facility and for his consistent performance beyond the call of duty.
Congratulations, Mr. Taylor, on representing Southwest Juvenile Hall and all the outstanding cooks down in the kitchen as this year's Division Employee of the Year.
Southwest Services Division 2020 Employee of the Year is Deputy Probation Officer Travis Zompony.
In the beginning of COVID, it became difficult for many clients to obtain food to sustain themselves and their family. Travis recognized the need for services, researched and arranged with a local food bank, Valley Community Pantry, to get food boxes to assist in their needs. Travis organized 5 different outreach days in the month of May and June of 2020. He organized the pickup of the food boxes and coordinated the delivery teams. As a result, 19 food boxes were delivered to assist clients and their families. His dedication to the well-being of the clients in the community is commendable.
Congratulations, Travis. We are very proud of you.
The Special Services Division selected Deputy Probation Officer Jennifer Atkinson as their 2020 Division Employee of the Year.
Jennifer started with the department at Indio Juvenile Hall in 2000 before promoting to Deputy Probation Officer in 2012. She is currently assigned to the Palm Springs Desert Hot Springs wraparound team, where she works diligently alongside behavioral health to ensure our youth and their families get the services and support they need to heal broken relationships, set boundaries, and address negative behaviors that continue to keep our youth involved in the criminal justice system. Jennifer is one of the client's greatest advocates, teachers, cheerleaders, supporters, helpers, and the list goes on. She goes about the business of meeting clients where they are, letting their past inform, but never hold back their potential to overcome and achieve. And as she does it quietly and humbly, working for the good of the organization, for the good of the mission, for the good of her families, a true leader and asset.
Each year, staff members have an opportunity to be recognized in specific categories. The first category is our Special Recognition Award, which is given to an employee, team, or group for special achievement, contribution, or project. Our first special recognition recipient is Christopher Mesa of the Staff Development Unit.
Senior Probation Corrections Officer Chris Mesa played an integral part in keeping the Staff Development Unit functioning at a high level this year. He oversaw institutions' annual training, PC 832 arrest and control courses, and Deputy Probation and Probation Correction Officers Core Academies. Chris is a master trainer at heart. Training is his passion, and it shows. As the most senior person in the Staff Development Unit, Chris trained 2 senior probation officers, a probation specialist, and assisted the new Supervising Probation Officer with transitioning into the unit. Chris is a powerhouse of knowledge and experience and is quick to share with others. He is often sought after by supervisors and managers for his expertise and sound judgment. Chris is very professional and an outstanding role model in every aspect. He displays the core values, work ethic, and drive the department desires in the leadership ranks.
Our second staff member being recognized for special recognition is Javier Santos of the Public Relations Unit.
Javier is a creative visionary with the patience and skill to enhance spoken word and digital images in such a way that they capture moments and tell the story. The year 2020 has been remarkable and unprecedented in so many ways. And through his lens, Javier has captured some of those moments and placed them on display for all of us to enjoy, remember, and embrace. Javier's creative talent and dedication to excellence can be seen on his work on all aspects of departmental media, from branding to publication. Amid the COVID-19 pandemic, Javier played an integral role in working with the Emergency Operations Center on projects, branding, and announcements to inform residents to stay in place, maintain your space, and cover your face which has earned the county a CSAC Challenge Award in Disaster and Emergency Response Management, as well as a Polaris Award in the Crisis Communication from the Public Relations Society of America Inland Empire.
We have a number of group awards. Our first group award goes to a team who quickly and efficiently processed a huge influx of client release packets. Congratulations to Paulina Alcaraz, Emma Gallegos, and Rose Moreno.
When COVID-19 hit, the governor took steps to release hundreds of offenders due to the virus. These three women stepped up to the plate and hit home runs. As hundreds of offenders were released in rapid fashion, our unit was inundated with file setups at a pace we had never seen before. Our SAFE system, which is how we receive our packets, was an overload with how many packets were coming in daily. But there were also offenders being released with no packet having been forwarded. Many times, Emma, Rose, and Paulina were faced with having to set up files with minimal paperwork, and not once was there a complaint from anyone. Every day, they would plow through the mountain of paperwork and files and just get the job done. These three women were efficient, fast, and produced with minimal mistakes.
Our next group award goes to a trio who came to the aid of a client suffering a medical emergency. Congratulations to Michael Brazil, Christina Kayvon Pierce, and Summer McGill.
On August 21st, 2020, SPO McGill and DPO Brazil learned a client they transported one day prior had removed his GPS monitor. They located the client's trailer in Desert Hot Spring. Despite knocking for several minutes, no one answered the door. SPO McGill could see through a window what she believed might be the client lying inside. DPO Brazil made entry and tried to wake the client, but he remained unresponsive. Law enforcement and medical assistance were requested. The paramedic administered the appropriate medical care and the client regained consciousness. The client admitted to heroin use and was transported to the hospital. The client was unconscious in the trailer with no air conditioner, no open windows or doors. The temperature was 120 degrees outside. Without the commitment to provide the client with all available resources, including the GPS monitor, it is likely the client might not have survived the extreme heat and drug overdose.
Our next award goes to Indio Juvenile Hall's Core Team, or Keep Our Reputation Excellent Team. Congratulations to Adriana Aceves, Elizabeth Martinez-Leon, Monica Ortega, and Timothy White.
The core team is the backbone to the institution. They are the moving parts behind the scene that keep the vehicle going. The members work diligently day after day, going above and beyond their duties to ensure things go accordingly. Without the effort of these individuals, things would be difficult to do. The team is very much appreciated.
Our fourth group is the Metrowest Division's Intake Unit. Congratulations to Karina Epinesa, William Lamas, Ashley Parker, Leon Reynolds, and Amanda Wheeler.
Metrowest Service Division Intake Unit worked endlessly to develop networking systems to ensure continued communication flow amid the COVID-19 pandemic. They assisted with the implementation process of temporary court COVID-19 changes specific to court hearings, personal hearings, information regarding virtual and telephonic hearings, the transportation of youth from institution to the courts, and safety precautions and requirements for personal protection equipment. They assisted bench officers and attorneys with the development of a triage calendar, scheduled virtual and telephonic appearance between the court and institutions, thus ensuring youth and family appeared to their court hearings, assisted court and probation support staff with paperless emailing process to ensure cases were being filed with the court during the temporary shutdown. Most importantly, keeping our clients, their families, and probation staff informed of the court changes and updates.
Our next Special Recognition Group Award goes to Mid-County Division's COVID Community Outreach Team. Congratulations to Jeremy Cruz, Monica Farrell, Cindy Gill, Veronica Hewitt, Roger Medina, Henry Passmore, and Carrie Thelwell.
The COVID-19 pandemic caught the world off guard and unprepared. Our elderly and immune-compromised citizens were especially at risk of exposure. In late March 2020, staff in the Mid-County Division rose to the challenge and reached out to local community-based organizations and faith-based organizations and quickly formed new voluntary partnerships. When COVID-19 struck, the need for housing, clothing, and groceries increased. Through this voluntary partnership, numerous families throughout Mid-County Division had received care packages from Fellowship in the Past and Valley Community Pantry and clothes donated by probation staff. The first care package was delivered on April 8, 2020, and to date, about 70 families have received food and/or clothing.
Our sixth group is the Special Services Division's Wraparound Officers. Congratulations to Jennifer Atkinson, Carly Cruz, Lorena Dominguez, Christopher Foster, Candice Green, Jennifer Cummerfield, Elizabeth Munoz, and Sean Romero.
The wraparound unit's purpose is to prevent the removal of youth from their homes and provide intensive community-based rehabilitation. During the pandemic, and with a slowing of referrals, our POs nearly tripled their contact with clients, ensuring they had their basic needs cared for and created virtual programming to help offset all the youth's free time. They created virtual art contests, essay contests, TED Talk essay challenges, weekly life skills classes, linked them to free physical training workout programs, and took advantage of virtual tours of museums, transporting clients to another place without having to leave home. Margaret Mead was quoted as saying, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world."
Our next Special Recognition Group Award goes to staff from across the department who took part in the Lakeside operation. Congratulations to Juan Bertado, Tyler Buffington, Shannon Crosby, William Lamas, Piper Lee Schules, Deborah Ravel, Leon Reynolds, Velke Richard, Daniel Valdez, Amanda Wheeler, and Lori Wilson.
Metrowest Division Director Lori Wilson and Deputy Probation Officer Deborah Ravel should be commended for responding to Lakeside Academy immediately upon learning about a critical incident. Both were instrumental in organizing, coordinating with other agencies, and arranging to get all of California's placement youth homes safely, in addition to keeping CPOC apprised daily of the progress of the situation. This group of individuals exemplified the meaning behind our core organizational values. They demonstrated excellence in that they truly performed outstandingly and worked as a strong unit for the betterment of all those involved, to include the youth being transported, as well as other counties whom had youth aboard the plane. They demonstrated integrity in that they voluntarily made a great sacrifice for the common good, without hesitation or reservation. And lastly, dedication. This group of outstanding employees demonstrated what it truly means to be a probation officer with Riverside County Probation.
Our eighth and final Special Recognition Group Award. Congratulations to field instructors Rafael Amy, Juan Bertado, Lindsay Bertado, Ruben Correa, Dottie Cross, Chris DeCudris, Esteban de los Reyes, Michelle Ewing, Kyle Hernandez, Denise Huss, Kevin Mears, Chris Sanchez, and Mike Viaba. And the institution instructors, Vanessa Diaz, Mario Gallo, Tiffany Humphreys, Sergio Macias, Dennis Martinez, Christopher Mesa, Herbert Murray, Ruben Rivera, Nancy Salcedo, Sarah Sanchez, and Heather Tinoco.
Year after year, these officers from the field and institutions have continued to provide valuable training to our staff. Although we have two different teams, one for the field and one for institution, both teams have the same goal: to keep our officers safe. These instructors have the responsibility of training the department's officers throughout their career. The teams take their responsibility as DT instructors seriously and with pride. Knowing the skills they teach will help our officers go home safely. They do this month after month, year after year, all while they continue to maintain their daily duties at their units or institutions. They take on this role not for any compensation, but with an understanding they are the key component in maintaining the professionalism and safety within our department.
Our next award is the Community Service Award. This award identifies a staff member for extraordinary dedication and volunteer service in the community, above and beyond what is performed as part of their regular duties. This year's Community Service Award recipient is Indio Juvenile Hall's Mario Gallo.
Mario gives back to his community by service as a youth football coach and a mentor. In 2017, Mario signed his 2 twin boys up for youth football. He moved up from coaching the youth to the president of the league. Although he is currently the president of the league, Mario has never stopped coaching and mentoring the youth in his community. He protects the innocence of these young men by keeping them occupied and feeding them not only knowledge of football, but knowledge of life. Mario is the constant in their life that gets them away from the negative circumstances. Mario has opened up his house to help these youth with homework and has bought them football equipment when their parents were unable to afford it. Mario is using football as a platform to teach and mold these young boys into young men. He is undoubtedly a mentor and a leader, not only in Coachella Valley community, but to our youth who are detained in Indio Juvenile Hall.
To present the Chief Probation Officers Award, please welcome Chief Ronald Miller.
The Chiefs Award honors an individual or individuals who have contributed to the professionalism of the department or provided outstanding service to probation clients and the community and demonstrated quality of leadership. This year we celebrate Senior Probation Officer Jack Hansen. Jack went above and beyond in providing services to homeless clients on his caseload. He supervised them professionally in that he provided them with needed referrals and services. But more than that, he took the time to really listen to them, to get to know them, to understand what they needed to return to a more normal way of life. Jack worked closely with Behavioral Health Justice Outreach Team and local community-based organizations. So much, he in essence formed a partnership with them. To that end, he proposed creating a specialized homeless caseload in the Mid-County Division. In part due to rising homelessness, but also to help some of the most vulnerable people on our caseloads, his proposal was approved, and thus the Mid-County Outreach and Rehabilitation Program for Homeless, named MORPH, was born. Jack has assisted the homeless population working with our partner agencies. He participated in the Riverside Sheriff's High Utilizer Program and Behavioral Health's monthly outreach operations. Many of the homeless people assisted by these programs were on probation, but others were not. Jack and these teams have provided a valuable service to the citizens of the county as well as those most in need. Many of the individuals in the homeless population of the Hemet-San Jacinto community have been through emotional and physical distress, and they have been unable to heal on their own. Jack has been vital in assisting these individuals connect with counseling professionals and services that would assist them in progressing and breaking the cycle of homelessness. One such person was a probationer who was literally living in a hole in the ground in a riverbed in the San Jacinto area. Jack and behavioral health staff helped him to transition to Cedar House residential treatment and to H-Hope housing at Lakeside before being reunified with his family out of state. In addition, Jack recognized the need to capture the success of MORPH and created the MORPH Update, a monthly article featuring updates on homeless clients and collaborative efforts within the Mid-County region. The MORPH Update also provides valuable information regarding the Mid-County homeless population to stakeholders and to county board members. Jack has shown quality of leadership and contributed to the department's professionalism through his accountability, empathy, and humility. Congratulations, Jack. You've earned this honor.
We want to thank each of you for joining us today as we recognized excellence within our department. I'm extremely proud of the work we do and blessed to work alongside each and every one of you. Special thanks to the awards committee who spent many hours planning and putting on this ceremony. Sean Baghdadi, Kwahari Bobo, Sharon Kalnick, Christine Castro, Shannon Crosby, Don Davis, Lavonda Davis, Glenn Franco, Amanda Hartman, Natalie Holden, Iris Lopez, Sharon Lynch, Adriana Martinez, Doug Moreno, Elizabeth Munoz, Myra Ortega, Erica Perez, Georgina Perez, Elizabeth Rhodes, Angelica Rodriguez, Jennifer Sherrill, and Kevin Slusarski. To learn more about the great things our employees are doing, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you for joining us today. Now we close out the ceremony with a video tribute to fallen Deputy Probation Officer Julio Beltran.
Cover up the